Hello, good evening, I am Joseph Filmography, and tonight the Kinergy is truly strong because the other day my buddies and I got the extreme privilege of witnessing Barbenheimer. Barbenheimer, if you are somehow unaware, is the moniker that's been given to the phenomenon where Greta Gerwig's Barbie movie and Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer released on the exact same day. And if you somehow haven't realized this yet, those two things are polar opposites. They are both movies that were made by a cast and crew, and that's about where the similarities end. But I mean, let's be real, if you're here, you already know what Barbenheimer is, so I'm just gonna skip through the boring explanation part and get to the fun stuff where we talk about why this is actually important. I first want to start off with some brief reviews of both movies, because I'm a pretty big Christopher Nolan fan, so I was really anticipating watching Oppenheimer in theaters anyways. Regardless of whether or not this whole thing had occurred at all, I would have gone to see Oppenheimer at some point, but oh my gosh, that movie was fantastic. Without saying too much, if you haven't seen it yet, it has a really fascinating format that I haven't really seen in many movies. I'm not even really sure what the structuring of that movie is called, but it was really well done, where it's kind of jumping around between multiple perspectives and multiple different times, and it all comes together at the end to form this one cohesive story. Also, me being a music guy, I was very interested in the music, which I had assumed would be Hans Zimmer. I thought he did all of Christopher Nolan's movies, but apparently that's not true. It was by... hang on, what's the guy's name? I'm looking it up right now. Ludwig Göransson? I hope that's how you pronounce that. Knocked it out of the park. I mean, that movie's music, it was something else. But the thing about Oppenheimer is that I was expecting to love that movie. I knew going into it that Oppenheimer was a movie that was catering towards me and that I would enjoy. Where I did not expect to see that was the Barbie movie. But oh my gosh, that movie knew exactly what it was doing. A lot of movies where they take something fantastical and have it go to the real world don't work very well, but I thought Barbie really did. I mean, it was a... I don't have much to say. I'm not much of a critic. Everything with Ken was absolutely awesome, and I will absolutely be naming my home one day my Mojo Dojo Casa House. It's gonna happen. Plus, here's a fun fact you may not have known about the Barbie movie. I actually had a role in it. Most people don't know this, but you can even see me in the trailers. Check this out, check this out. There I am. There I am. He's literally me. Literally me. Is the joke working? He's literally me. But what's craziest about this is that we went to the theater in the afternoon for 2 hours of Barbie, and then we went to the next room over for 3 hours of Oppenheimer. That's not even to mention the half an hour of ads before each one, which means this totals to a 6-hour experience for Barbenheimer. And to my knowledge, these movies releasing on the same day was not intentional, but oh my lord, they knew what they were doing. Because the idea of seeing these two things back to back skyrocketed their popularity to an unholy degree. When we were in the theaters, the lobby had a pink sparkly stand where you could take a picture for the Barbie movie, and then right next to it was a black stand with white text that said, "I am become death, destroyer of worlds." And they were right next to each other. Or today, my brother and I drove past a different theater that had 2 posters up out front, and I'll give you one guess as to what those 2 posters were. And people have been losing their minds over this. Understandably so, because it's freaking hilarious. But the part that I find most fascinating about it is the fact that this has already happened. It happened before. If we rewind the clock many ages into the past to the year 2020, a little game called Animal Crossing New Horizons came out. Animal Crossing is a game about managing a tropical island village of your happy little animal friends. And it's kind of like the ultimate calming video game experience. And then on the same day that that released, came out Doom Eternal, a game where you go to hell so that you can kill all of the demons there. And you'll be shocked to know the internet also lost their minds over this. Because again, it's really freaking funny. I remember seeing countless fan animations of Doom Guy and Isabelle working together and relaxing on the Animal Crossing island and then slaughtering the horde over in Doom Town. And with these two games, it was once again an accident. It wasn't really intended to happen that way. They just both happened to plan for the same release date, and then neither studio wanted to change, because why on earth would you? It would be insane to change that. Because the thing is, imagine you're a game developer, and you're developing a gritty, violent shooter game, you know, where you're fighting monsters, or demons, or I have hair in my mouth. And you're planning to release your game on March 20th of 2020. And then you see that Doom Eternal is releasing on March 20th of 2020. You would probably want to change that date, because Doom Eternal is such a massive game that it's going to steal all of your success or potential popularity immediately. But when you are Animal Crossing, and you are releasing on March 20th, 2020, and you see Doom Eternal, you have nothing to fear, because these two things are polar opposites. So no one is going to go play Doom Eternal instead of Animal Crossing. It's not like the Animal Crossing fans saw the Doom Eternal trailers and were like, nah, I'm gonna go play that instead. Because all this does in the end is just boost popularity, because you're gonna have a lot of people going to play Animal Crossing, and a lot of people going to play Doom, and now you're gonna have a whole new crowd of people who are gonna be playing both just because it's funny. And it's the same thing with Barbenheimer. I was going to go see Oppenheimer anyways, but since it came out on the same day as Barbie, I went to see both of them. And I loved both of them. I almost said they were really funny. One of them was really funny. They were both very enjoyable experiences, I can say that much. But alright, Doom and Animal Crossing happening once. That's a freak incident, you know. It's just a crazy coincidence that happened to go down. But now that it's happened twice, now I'm not so sure. Because back in 2020, you could have said, well, this only works in this instance because everyone's locked in their homes, no one can go outside, and so you have this one game that's a outside life with your friends simulator, and you have another game where it's just taking out all of your rage on the endless horde. And back then, if you said that would only work at that one specific time, I would believe you. But now it's happened twice, which leaves us with a much more interesting position, because if you think studios haven't caught on to the popularity that both of these things had, you are dead wrong. I am a firm believer that in the future, we're gonna be seeing a lot more of this happening, because it's way too funny to just not happen. Because the popularity of these two things was no accident. They had to know that releasing these two things on the same day was going to make them explode. And sure enough, it worked. So in the future, when we see more things releasing on the same day that are polar opposites from each other, I won't exactly be surprised. But where this is really, really interesting to me is in the world of video games. Because with movies, it's like, okay, yeah, you know, you have these two movies coming out at the same time. That's funny and all, and the theaters can make a big show out of it. But that's largely where it ends. With a video game, though, you have way more freedom. Because on top of releasing two games on the same day, you could actually make, like, crossover stuff. Imagine if Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing had a crossover trailer with Doomguy and Isabelle fishing on the island or whatever. Or better yet, imagine if in Animal Crossing you could wear Doomguy's helmet, and in Doom you could find like a little Isabelle, you know, a little Isabelle toy and give her the fist bump like you do with the little Doomguy toys. I don't know, just goofy stuff like that. Let's take Super Mario Bros. Wonder, right? That game's coming out at some point. I don't know when. Maybe it's been announced. I have no idea. But imagine like Elden Ring DLC comes out on that day, and you can get a Mario hat in Elden Ring, you know, and you can get a knight helmet in Mario. Because that's the cool thing about video games, is that once it's out there, you can just change it if you want to. And that's not always a good thing, but I'm saying it could be a good thing. Because I mean, it's not unreasonable to imagine, right? Animal Crossing got loads of free updates over time. They could have put something Doom in there. Would have been really, really funny if they did. I mean, every game these days, it seems like, is trying to be on a live service model. It's all about stuff like that. It's all about crossovers, you know? The Boys are in Call of Duty now. Star Wars is in Fortnite. I don't know, there's other crossovers in video games. Probably. So in conclusion, Doom and Animal Crossing opened a massive and amazing door that people were kind of scared to touch, but now that Barbenheimer has charged through head first and come out the other side victorious, I think other people are going to be a lot more interested in walking on through. So all in all, we're going to have an interesting few years coming up, because again, Doom and Animal Crossing came out in 2020, and Barbenheimer has now happened in 2023. So in 2026, who knows, man? Who knows what we're gonna be seeing? But I'm willing to bet it's gonna be crazy. And I'm also willing to bet that it is gonna be a video game thing, not only just because video games are, you know, more customizable and I guess more involved with internet culture, but also because of the fact that Hollywood hasn't exactly been doing so hot lately. I mean, I've heard there's some little bit of stuff going on over there, a couple problems they've got to sort out. So who knows what the future's gonna hold, man? But it's gonna be very entertaining. I can tell you that much. And that's about it. Get out of here.